Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just setting my roster for TI Fantasy for tomorrow.
Oh, nice. That's a good idea. I should do that. All right. So, what's going on? You were a mid player?
Yeah, low tier mid player. My friends and I just we've been kind of puttering around for a long time and decided that we finally wanted to actually improve and get better at this game. And so I've been playing almost exclusively Ember for a long time mid. A little bit of Lina, and then like Shadow Fiend or Kunkka, or just sort of feeling out some mid stuff. But generally, almost exclusively Ember, and I think that my mid game decision making is pretty poor. I think my laning mechanics are okay, and obviously all of this is in the caveat of it being Herald, but
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking.
What's your MMR? Oh, yeah, rank 22 Ember.
Like 600, I think.
Okay. Awesome, man. Do you see my stream going? You see my screen?
I do. I'm watching the Radiant Victory.
All right. You have any questions, particularly about this game, before we get started?
I think the big one is just, sort of.
Prepare for battle.
I think the lane is pretty classic Herald. Like I probably play sniper about 50% of the time, um, if
Okay.
not more.
Against the
It's
sniper, you
kind of
mean?
wild against the sniper,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and I think I do make some mistakes here, and I'm always down for tips on how to play this lane better. But I think my itemization was kind of bad. I think I should have gone Lincoln's. But mostly it's my team was basically just running down lanes at certain points, in particular the Warlock, and I wasn't sure whether I should approach that differently, whether, I'm committing and getting kills, but is that a waste of time? Should I
30
be,
seconds.
farming on a fighting hero like Ember? Is that right? Like what's the play?
Okay. Yeah, we'll take a look. A lot of times it just depends on if you've pushed in your mid lane, you're giving up damage on your tower, that kind of thing. We'll take a look. Um, this is whatever. A ward is helpful. Does your team just take the wards?
Yeah, I usually get
Okay,
one if I can, but that's
it's
what
life.
happened here.
You got a
Yeah.
sentry. That's interesting. Did
I
you
watched
have?
them place a
Oh,
ward
okay.
there, so I
Okay, nice. Oh, it's just a sentry though. Well, it's whatever. Let's...
yeah, usually I feel like at my tier I'm about 75% of the time I just am able to deward an obs in that
Sure,
position.
yeah. All right, you could have slided for that creep there. It's not a huge deal.
Okay.
Okay, so you got the. It's not great for last hitting, but in that situation, you only need 5 extra damage, and the tower going to you. It's life. That's good pressure. Good creep secure there. I think that was reasonable. Coming back to block, that's pretty good. Yeah, this is kind of how it goes against sniper. I don't think there's anything in particular you can do different. Waiting to get the deny without taking damage is pretty good, I think. Oh man, again, you could have slided there. You had gotten a hit plus slight, but it's okay. It was
Yeah,
really
that makes
close.
sense. That's sometimes I have trouble under tower with just the damage.
Yeah,
I
that's
mistime it, so
tough.
that makes sense.
Okay, so we have a late bottle coming out. So if you're gonna go for the sentry play, what were your starting items? Hold on, I'm just gonna go back.
Yeah, I think the sentry kind of screwed me over
Hmm.
on this one.
Yeah, if it just makes it harder to get it puts more pressure on you to need to get more CS to get your bottle on time. If you're Like, it's almost just not even worth it, because then your bottle here, it's 2 minutes, and you're just buying your bottle now. I mean, you could have bought it, like, 2 seconds earlier, but, like, not. You could have bought it here, but it's already 2 minutes. It, like, doesn't matter. You bought, like, you didn't even buy it late. You just bought it, like, right after the wave was done, but it was too late.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I would... Like, if you really want to buy the Sentry, like, you see them place the ward, consider starting, like, one less Iron Branch for the lane, I guess. Because you're melee,
Yeah, I
you're
think
gonna be
I
starting
probably
Blade
just
a lot.
shouldn't do that.
Well, if you get the ward, it's obviously worth it. But if you're just guessing, like, the consistency is, like, not going to be there. And then you're just going to have situations like this where, like, the times it doesn't work out, it's just not going to look good. Or it's just going to be harder, you know? Alright, this guy's putting some pressure on you. Life. I think... Wait, were you standing shrapnel? I don't know if there's a replay bug or not. Yeah, you're standing in shrapnel right now, so I don't think this is worth it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do I just not go into shrapnel? Like, if he's gonna use that, do I only slight?
Yeah, I think you just can't go into shrapnel there.
Okay.
It's just never worth it, because, like, you just don't win unless you're, like, actively hitting him, and, like, he's low enough to where you could possibly kill him. But, like, if you're just going for CS and he's sitting there pelting you, it's never worth.
Okay.
I maybe would have taken Chains. I don't care that much, but Chains does give you a kill potential. So, like, in this exact situation, right? Like, if you have, like, a point in Chains and only 1 point in Flame Guard, like, you can run at him, and, like, you're, like, a huge threat.
Yeah. No, that makes
like
a lot of
here,
sense,
because Chains, but it's... If you don't want to play it that way, you don't have to. It's, like, kind of a stylistic thing.
Like I really do like Chains, and I feel like I hit that consistently enough that it's worth it. I think it also helps me with the rotations, and I just don't think to go Chains in lane, but I really should, unless I'm against, like, a Skywrath or somebody who's going to be bursting my...
Yeah, or, like, here. Like, here, I think you should just man up on him, because he came out for the rune. The replay bugs are super annoying, but, like, right here,
Yeah.
especially if you had Chains, it would be, like, a no-brainer, right? Like, if you just turn on Flame Guard and run at him, he is a sniper, you know, with 285 move speed. So, especially these
Yeah, there's going to be a point later in the game where he drops a question mark on me, where I go on him and I just totally misjudge the matchup, and I don't know what happened.
Okay.
You know, so I'll be interested to hear your take on that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's probably about level 8 or 9.
Nice D-ward. Okay, nice. I was gonna harp on you for not doing this if you didn't do this, but I like that you're doing this. Going back to base. Okay, so your priority here is, like, not correct, and that's why I think maybe you should have done this earlier. Is your priority here has to be the 6-minute rune.
Okay.
What the heck? So, like, you hit 6, you have the mana, right? So you need to go back right now, or, like, very soon, get full health, full mana. I really like that you bought the ward too. Well, I guess you already had one. It doesn't really matter. Having a ward at least is good. And then maybe that one just ran out. It's hard to tell with these replay things. Right?
Yeah,
but, like, this ward that you buy is fine. But then, like, when you come back, I need you to place it and like throw a remnant here. It's gonna be like up. But, like, if you were here earlier, right, you would throw a remnant here and you would run straight at the other rune. That's, like, the only thing that you should care about right now.
Okay.
It's like, here a rune spawned. And, like, you don't know where it is. Okay, your ward did run out. We don't know where it is. And, like, we're just last hitting creeps.
It could be a DD and I could kill him.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, it's just so important to get it. Nice.
Comforting rune of regeneration.
So rotation right here is not good. Because
Okay.
you don't have chains, and you don't have any remnants. So, like, your kill threat is, like, 0, I think.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. But, like, better would be to just... While the sniper's dead, you have a catapult alive. So, like, you should just be, like, killing this creep wave as fast as possible and, like, right-clicking this tower.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, I just don't see this rotation working out at all. Plus, the fact you have the catapult is, like... I guess it is going to work out.
I think I die here to the sniper, though.
Okay. Well, sniper TP'd away. So, yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but... Yeah, like, if you had more remnants there, you wouldn't have died, but it's just risky to do a play like that with no remnants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have phase boots. So it's okay. It's not bad against sniper. Nice, got the rune. Maybe... So yeah, here again, like, just get in the habit of leaving a remnant at one rune, and then, like, running at the other one.
Okay. I think I've got an obs on the bottom one, but...
Yeah, you do. Then you're just at both. You're, like, Ember can be at both at the same time, effectively. Yeah. So, like, you want to abuse that so you're never not getting one. Because even if you see that it's not here, like, the Legion Commander was just mid. Like, he could... If that Legion Commander was good, like, he would have just been standing at this rune at 8 minutes, and he would have just taken it.
Okay.
And you wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. Granted, even if you had a remnant there, you possibly couldn't have been able to do anything about it, but having a remnant, like, gives you that opportunity. And if they're, like, 1 second slow, then you'll be there.
Yeah, or if they're trying to save it for the sniper or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so you're rotating again. You have a point in chains now, so I don't hate this. Nice.
You must train harder.
That's pretty good. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's life. I don't... What should you have been doing here? I think here you just seem to be running for the rune again. The 10-minute rune is, like, the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
So, like, just run, throw a remnant down here, and then, like, TP base. So that you're, like, full health, full mana when the rune spawns.
That makes sense.
It's foray into the jungle. Like, regardless if the jug's here or not, I'm just not sure what you were going for. Or just, like, kind of a weird path to take, because you didn't have, like, resources to farm.
I wanted the bounty rune.
You already got the bounty rune.
Did I get the bounty rune?
Well, you walked... Oh, I guess not. I guess you were already down here when it spawned. Okay. I guess you thought the bounty rune was there, because you guys didn't have vision. It's not showing on the replay, but you must have seen the bounty rune thing. So I get what you're saying now.
But even, like, if I had Remnant TP'd home, that would have been a way better play. That's not worth
yeah. The power rune is, like, way more important than the bounty runes. But, like, I don't blame you too much, because, like, I wasn't expecting that jug to be there, so... I don't really like this TP. Well, actually, granted, since the rune's still here, it's not that bad. But if this rune, like, wasn't here anymore, which, like, you know, sometimes it's not going to be, I don't think this is a good TP. Because, like, nothing was happening, right? You're not going for a kill attempt here.
And just walk out? Or go somewhere else?
Walk out. Just walk out. I mean, take a look at the other lanes, and, like, you know, if they're, like, diving your team or something, right? If there's, like, some sort of immediate play you can go join, like, you could TP there. But given nothing was really happening in any of the 3 lanes, I think walking out is really good. Because Ember can do so much with this TP up. And without a TP up, like, it's kind of eh. Because the rune was there, though, it's not a huge deal. Yes, very strong.
It was that one. I'm not sure why. Maybe I was just out of position, but...
Yeah, well, he turns on take aim and he headshot procs every hit. plus with the Mask of Madness, I mean, it's just an insane combo.
Yeah.
So if he can just stand there and not be in danger, there's only so much, That is the strength of the hero, is he does do a shit ton of damage if you can just sit there and pelt stuff. So going straight Maelstrom.
Would you consider another item here?
I mean, of course I'd consider other items, but I don't know if I'd choose something different. I think Wand is pretty good. I think it's kind of weird that you don't have a Wand. You didn't need it early in lane against the Sniper, but it's still good to like pick up. Ember is a hero that like just skirmishes a lot, so I would consider a Wand.
Okay.
I think against this lineup, something like Wand, Maelstrom, into like Lincoln's is probably like reasonable. You could pick up a Corrosion as well. That's something I was thinking about earlier. Because you weren't having like a perfect lane though because you're against a Sniper. Because like if you have an Orb of Corrosion and you're against a Sniper, like if you're just like constantly spamming your Slight, like he takes a bunch of damage because he's like a squishy ranged hero, you know?
Yeah.
But it's okay that you don't have one. At this point, I don't know if I'd go back for it, so. You're walking base here. Nice, okay. I think that was what you did with it was fine, but I'm not sure I would have walked base here.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird. I wanted the bottle refill. I didn't want to use my TP, but watching it now, I'm like, why? I've got pretty much full health, full mana. I should do something else.
Yeah, well, you're having a tough game. You're not like, right? You're just the lowest of the cores on CS. Like you've had some good rotations, but like you're just not getting a lot of farm.
Yeah, what's my net worth right now? Like, where are we at net worth wise?
Bottom of the course.
Okay, yeah,
so hot.
yeah.
Which is like okay. Like you had a bad matchup. You've killed this guy a couple times. Like that one rotation top, hurt you a bit when you died to the Sniper.
Yeah, and then died to the Jug again. That wasn't
otherwise
fun.
I think for the most part you've been doing pretty good considering the matchup. But like in this situation, like if you think that you can't lane against a Sniper, like just go farm the big camp or something, and then go base. Like if you're running straight base on full mana, like just farm your way there, just hit this big camp on the way back and make it efficient because it's just really inefficient. Whereas if you just farm the big camp on the way back, at least you're like give yourself an extra like 120 gold or whatever a big camp is worth.
Yeah, and watching it now, I saw the Tusk mid under the ward, so I think that played into it of like I'm not going to get
not wanting to be there,
the illusion, but yeah, absolutely farming and using up my mana rather than going straight to base makes a lot of sense.
Did a rune spawn bottom? Yeah, it did. Okay, your rune sense here was a little slow, I think. Like you killed the Sniper. Wait.
Yeah, I thought the Tusk would have just taken it. Like he was standing there at 12 minutes. I don't know why he didn't, but
that's a good point. He had already gone bottom, and he had just completely ignored it. But I would just check, I guess. I guess if you thought it wasn't there, then, it's not a huge deal. So I guess if you thought it was, like, gone and you didn't have vision of it, that's, like, not a big deal. But it wasn't gone, so.
Trickster's rune of illusion.
am I using my Flame Guard too liberally here?
Probably, yeah. Like, I don't think I would use it to farm a casual creep wave mid just because it's a really strong spell for you. And because, like, here, it's like, what are you doing? I'm not, like, not to, like, flame you, right? But, like...
No, I
totally Sniper,
understand.
You're going to clear mid, and then it's like, you have the opportunity here to, like, make a rotation. Because, like, I'm looking at the minimap right now, and, like, I'm seeing this Primal Beast. Like, we're looking at the minimap and looking at, like, bottom. Like, there's something happening down there.
Snipers, yeah. I
like,
thought about going bottom, and then I was like, yeah.
Yeah, well, from your perspective, you're not looking, which makes it tough. You gotta be looking, like, right, if we're looking at this...
That gives a lot more info.
I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want to TP into, like, a full HP Sniper and, like, a Primal Beast, right? But, like, you don't know unless you look.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, we like kind of run towards this Legion. Okay, now you're TPing. But see, we didn't even look. Wow, it's gonna work out though. That was pretty sweet. But yeah, that could have been really
I
bad.
heard the Mars ulti. But no, you're right. I need to be using my eyes. They're important in the game of Dota.
Okay, are we getting a rune? Spawn top, we see it. What are you flying on the courier right now? Are you flying on mana? Okay, that's like reasonable. I don't know if I'd be flying on a sentry at this point, but it's not a huge deal. A lot of rune control going on here, or vision control.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So here, I would definitely... Okay, so you're really strong with like Arcane and Maelstrom.
Yeah.
But you have no mana. You flew out the... You have the clarity, which is like, okay, but like... I think you use some more mana to farm mid or whatever. But you have like no mana. And like, if you had full mana right now, you're like the strongest hero on the map. Because of like your Arcane Rune and like having your Maelstrom power spike. So like, it's really important right now to like get mana. So what I would be doing is I would like leave a remnant mid, and I'd like farm. You have a little bit of mana. I'd farm this on the way back, and then I'd like go fountain, fill all the way up, and then you have choices, right? You'll have a TP.
Yeah.
You can TP to a side lane. You can remnant back to mid if you want. You can kind of like do whatever you want. So we didn't leave a remnant, but I guess we are. That's nice item to get. Okay, we're just kind of farming. I mean, we got the stack. I just don't like that we're sitting on like 200 and 300 mana with this Arcane Rune, because like I want you to do something with this. Clearing mid's not bad though. I guess we're taking a free mid tower.
A tool to teach.
Alright, that's cool. That's cool. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, I don't think it'd be going BKB this game. The only thing that BKB helps you against is Primal Beast. And if you have a Linken's, then he also can't ulti you. Or, well, he can, but only if it's popped. So, it's just like a recognizing like what their lineup does. I mean, this is like pretty extreme.
I think I went on autopilot.
Yeah, they have like 2 BKB cancels. Jug doesn't care if you're BKB'd really. It is good against Primal Beast, and then Sniper also doesn't really care. So
I always have
think
trouble with the
rushing Linken's
slow.
would have been good because of the Legion, right? Like this game,
Yeah.
they scale really well, and like basically you just want to be able to like farm and push waves without like getting picked off by Legion.
Yeah.
Still think Wand would be good. You can always go back for the Wand. Probably help a little bit with the mana issues. So I can like fully solve them, but it helps more than you would think. I think it helps more than low MMR players think it does. Okay, so we get this DD, and it's kind of the same thing as getting the Arcane Rune, right? Like I want you
super
to get
strong.
this DD, and I want you to like be at full resources, and then like fucking run at them. It's like they glyph. And then again, we're just kind of chilling, which is like, if you didn't have this DD, like what you're doing is fine. But you need to like, as a mid player especially, you need to like what rune you have needs to really change like how you're thinking about what you want to do in the next like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Like when you have these runes, like your like willingness to like do something like crazy aggressive and like make a play should be like super high. Versus, like, if this is, like, if this is, like, a regen rune, like, it's not a big deal, because, like, the regen rune's not going to, like, make you super strong in a fight.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of playing, like, the way you would otherwise be playing, even though you have this DD, which I don't like. So it's just about, like, changing your mindset a little bit around these runes. So now we're popping the DD.
This is one of those situations where I'm like, I think I'm on mic being like, they are all here, we can fight, but it just does not go well. Like, I think the Warlock doesn't show up, and everybody else, commits everything. We've got a bunch of ults get dropped. And it might go okay, but like, Yeah, the jug cleans up.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like you were forcing it a little hard there. Because, like, part of this is, like you are strong. But, like, what I would do here is I would say, like, if you guys want to defend top, like, I'm down to, like, go defend top. But you can't, like, TP in first and then hope they show up later. You know what I mean? So, like, if you want to make that play, I would say, like, you know, you can even draw an arrow, right? Draw an arrow for Mars and Techies to run top and be like, hey, if you guys go top, like, I can TP in and we can fight. But you kind of have to recognize, like, we don't have our Warlock ulti. I don't think... He respawned. He, like, could have TP'd there. It looks like he TP'd bottom instead, which is, like, whatever. But he didn't have his ult to begin with, so... this is, like, pretty forced on your end. And, like, you feel strong because you have the DD, but it's, like... At the end of the day, this tower's not that important. So, like, unless you guys are super coordinated in making this play, the, like, the net expected value of this play is not super high, given that, like, the coordination on average is pretty low for your bracket. I would be okay with letting this tower go if they're going to sit 5 heroes up here and do that, while I'm just, like, farming my next item, you know. And like I said, let your team know, like, oh, guys, like, I want to defend this if you guys want to go. But, you know, if the Warlock's going to TV bottom on his respawn and, like, you know, your Mars and your Techies aren't going to be there right away, then it's just, like, not worth. We just kind of forced it, and, like, our team tried to show up, but, like, you just weren't really ready to, like, take them on 5v4, or even 5v5 without Warlock ulti, which he did not have.
True. Can you talk a little bit about, so, I have this weird, I always think, like, yes, mid first, but, like, the next most important tower in my mind is to take their safe lane tower. And so I guess conceptually I struggle to understand the value in defending, like the expected value in defending versus this expected value in attacking. Because, like, right now, just from the towers, I feel like we have a higher percentage of the map. So it would make sense to defend that tower pretty heavily, because that's, like, unless they're going to go mid and clearly they're all top, like, that's their objective.
Right. Well, so strategically you're correct. Like, you guys have a larger portion of the map, and if you could hold on to the top tower, you could, like, continue farming a larger portion of the map. But like, as you saw, like, just because it would be good to defend the tower doesn't mean you can. Right?
Okay.
Like, it's just a judgment of whether or not you feasibly can, not so much, like, whether or not it's, like, good or not to do so. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, they're gonna take this tower at some point, right? Unless you plan on not dying again for the rest of the game and, like, proceeding to crush them from being even, right? Eventually they're gonna take this tower. So it's like, do we want to hold it? Yes. But, like, what are the circumstances required for us to hold this tower? Especially, like you said, you knew they were up there with 5 heroes. Just because it's good to do it doesn't mean... Or just because it would be good if you could do it doesn't mean you can do it. Or that it's good to try if you're, like, not sure.
Yeah.
Because what they... Effectively, if they have 5 heroes up here and, like, nobody on your team goes up here, and you're just farming the entire rest of the map...
Other, yeah.
Yeah, you know, for that 30 seconds that they're doing that, you're, like, increasing your net worth lead, right? And they're getting a tower that they, yes, are going to get anyways at some point.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's how I'd think about it. Because I do note that, like, in Herald and Guardian, players, or, like, just people in general, are much more liable to, like, kind of defend those. I think they, like, put too much emphasis on defending their safe lane tier 1 towers. Because when I coach, like, offlane low MMR players, they'll kind of do this thing where they, like, know they want to take the tower, but then the other team just keeps showing up with, like, 4 heroes there. And, like, the offlane players sometimes find it really hard to, like, take that tier 1 tower. And it goes both ways, right? If your team is the ones who want to defend the tower, if you put a bunch of resources in there and they had only been up here with, like, 1 hero or 2 heroes, right? And then, like, Sniper and Jug are, like, free farming somewhere else, then, like, it's not worth it for you guys to, like, put so many heroes up here defending it. Or, like, they can force you to go defend it, and then they can just spread out and farm the rest of the map and not take it, and then, like, you guys have put yourself in a bad spot. Like, macro wise.
Okay.
So it's the same like vice versa. Like if they are up there with a bunch of heroes, like you just let them have it, and then make sure that you're taking advantage of the space that gives you like macro wise and like keep farming. And yeah, like I don't want like if you've got 5 ultimates ready to go and you think you're strong, like sure, go ahead and defend that tower, right? And then a lot of that is just experience. Like, do we have what it takes to like win this fight? If it turns out to be a full fight.
Yeah, and I think a couple things that you've said so far of like things that it sounds like I can work on. It's checking before I'm TPing in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I don't check the top bar enough for info about my own teammates. Like ult cooldowns and stuff, I think I need to be much more aware of that.
Yeah, for sure. That is like a mid player who like you're like an Ember spammer, right? So like you are a hero that shows up and like in some cases initiates a lot of fights. So it is very important to like be aware of like what your team can and wants to do, because sometimes they want to finish their next item or they want to wait for their cooldown. Okay, so like here is a little weird. It's not a little weird. It's like pretty normal. But like here, you should definitely like walk up and like farm the next wave, especially with this information that Legion is like walking away from this lane.
Okay.
There's no reason for you to like walk away from the lane instead of continue to push it out. Given that you're an Ember and you have like high mobility, like I don't want you to be like stuck top forever. I definitely don't. But like if you were to like throw a remnant at this, like, well, I guess there's no camp here, but like even if you just like leave a remnant back here and then like walk down and like push in this next wave, right?
Yeah.
And then like connect your remnant. You don't have a TP, which is fine. You're just trying to get your BKB, and then you have the option to like go mid or something, because then you do it again. I just don't like walking away from lanes where you don't have to like leave the lane. Like pushing out the extra wave is like super important, because then we come mid and we do the same thing. So it happened twice in a row.
Yeah, not really.
Mid, push it out.
Sort of indecisive.
And then we like walk away. But there's another wave mid that we could have pushed out, and the Warlock ends up doing it, but it's like not. Okay, we go for this attempt with techies. Which I don't hate. What I do hate is these replay bugs, though.
They're so annoying. Yeah. It's okay, the game's in beta. We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there. Ooh. That was close.
That was very close.
Tough attempt, but we got there.
But this is another thing I need to keep in mind of like, yeah, we killed him, but like, now the sniper wasn't ahead of me in net worth before. And yes, they dove in and died, but like, while I was doing that attempt, he jumped up 1,000 net worth and now is ahead of me.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't think of individual plays in terms of like the net worth result outcome. Like I would just think if this is like a good attempt or not. Because like there's like little tiny trade-offs for everything, but like at the level you're at, I mean, this is not like worth thinking about like things that minor, I think.
Okay.
Like, is it a good attempt? Yeah. Did we kill a carry or try to kill a carry and like it almost worked, right? It's like reasonable. Like, yeah, like their other heroes are going to be farming, but it's like, that's always going to be the case, so. Okay, but we won a nice fight off our BKB timing, so what do we do now? What to you are like you win a fight, like your team wins a fight. What's like the most important like priorities, like following like the winning of like a team fight?
The thing that I hate about this fight, especially this, like winning this fight, is it's basically under our tier 2. So we don't really have any waves pushed in. We're not strong enough for Roche. I mean, maybe we are, but probably not. I would say just, like, looking at it now with a clear head and not just jamming all my buttons and trying to survive, I would probably tell somebody to take these 2 creeps. I would run to the next wave and clear it and go take their tier 1 top. It's not a super valuable tower, but to not get anything off of a team wipe feels a little shitty. I might, If I were really thinking strongly, I would probably say let's smoke and go find the jug, and then take their tier 2 bottom. That would probably be what I think would be the best play right now.
Okay. Well, I'm hearing you say specific things, but I was thinking more general. Like, what after winning a team fight is like, what are your priorities? Like in general.
Make sure we have enough resources and then push waves.
Push waves. Yeah. So like I would think about it in terms of getting map control or like improving the map control that you do have while they can't do anything about it. And then like also like taking objectives, which like kind of falls under that, but it's like its own separate thing as well, is like considering whether there are any objectives you can take while they're dead. Given where this fight happened, I don't think there's any objectives you can take while they're dead unless you guys walked into Roche. But I don't see that happening. Your guys' Roche damage without Spectre Manta isn't super high, so I don't think you can Roche right now. So the secondary priority to me is get all the lanes shoved out as far as you can before they're alive, and then like having resources, health and mana by the time that they like respawn, so that you guys can like continue to like play without like being down a hero. So like if I was coaching this Mars, right, I'd be like, all right, your first priority needs to be to like just go base real quick, right? You just need to be like ready to do stuff in 45 seconds. In terms of pushing out all the lanes, like that to me is like the single most important thing. And so by all the lanes, we mean like all the lanes, right? So it's like, who is gonna do this and push this out a bit? Like mid's already pushing in, which is great, but like what about bottom? Like somebody should go bottom right now. Like
I think
right
now. I should go bottom. That's probably. I'm just like looking at it now. That jug almost killed me once. But Omni might be down still. So yeah, I mean, I should go bottom. I don't have any remnants left, but like.
Yeah, I mean you'll have a remnant soon. This jug's not going to solo kill you within the next 25 seconds. Like if you have a remnant, he just can't kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should 100% TB bottom like right now. So what should happen roughly is like you or somebody TP's bottom, pushes it in. Somebody like this is already pushing in. Somebody can push out top a bit. Your Mars resets, and then like 20 seconds later, right? Like you can like reconnect with your team up here, or they can connect down to you, and you guys are like ready to like fight again, or like you're just chilling, but you like are like playing. You've like controlled way more of the map, so then you have a ton of map to be able to farm while your like spells come back off cooldown. It's like maybe fighting again right now while you have Haunt and Golem on cooldown is like not the best idea, but like getting all the map control you can while they're dead is like really important. And so the fact that this bottom lane goes like unfarmed or unpushed in is just bad. Like somebody needs to be pushing in bottom right now. The Golem's already pushing in top. That will always be happening.
And then he stops it.
Yeah. So the Mars does what I would have told this Mars to do, actually. So, like...
Yeah, I think the Mars played... Well, he died a lot, but I think he was playing to the team. I definitely, like... No complaints about the Offlane.
But given that you didn't go bottom, the fact that he went bottom is really good. So, like, at least it's being taken care of. Mm-hmm. But now, like, I would look to, like, just be reconnecting. Well, not necessarily, because we have a lot of cooldowns. If we didn't have cooldowns, we thought we could fight again, I'd be looking to reconnect with your team. Given that we have very important cooldowns we need to wait for, I think the priority is just keeping the lanes as pushed in as possible without getting picked off while we wait for our cooldowns.
Okay.
You know, making sure they're not, like, roaching or something, but otherwise, like, not trying to, like, press the issue. So given that Mars is now bottom, I think what you're doing is okay. Like, I think this is reasonable. And then... Okay, we're, like, following our Spectre around. I would be hanging out top still. You guys kind of both ignored this big camp, which is, like, you know, not ideal. Like, somebody should have farmed this. Probably you. But I would have, like, hung around top and just waited. Because, like, your Spectre has Shadow Step. I don't know if you know that. But, like, you guys, like, have kill potential on the Sniper. Or you can, like, potentially pressure him pretty hard. But even if you don't, like, this Sniper does not threaten you in terms of you just keeping this lane shoved in while whatever's happening bottom is happening. Because, like, your two options, I think, are to continue shoving out top or to, like, go help with whatever's happening down here.
Okay.
Looks like and they've got, like, 4 heroes. Like, they brought 4 heroes down there, right? So if we're like paying
Yeah,
attention,
and I don't even check that. Like, that's bad. I need to be.
Yeah, we want to
that.
know where. Because you just have to think about it in terms of like what you want to be doing, and then you have to monitor where they are so that you know what you're allowed to do. Because if you want to be pushing this lane out, you'll like be thinking like, okay, I want to do that, but like maybe I'm scared because I don't see them. And then when you see 4 heroes, right, bottom on their team, you're like, oh, well, there's 4 heroes bottom, so like I don't have to be afraid of them killing me if I like push in top again. And then if you see the sniper, you're like, well, hey, the sniper's alone. Like maybe I can get my you plus the Spectre Shadow Step like 100% kill the sniper.
And I think I also
100%.
what's the word? Overestimate the strength of the tower at certain points in the game. Like early game, I would not be able to just stand there and fight the sniper under tower, but like right now, I absolutely could with the Spectre.
Right, yeah, for
with
sure. That
slide
tower
and
does
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
If anything, it probably gives the sniper a false sense of security. But
Yeah, and the reflection from the Spectre might even deal a little extra damage.
right. Okay. But what's oh wait. So what happened? They got your warlock. Not a huge deal. But like
also,
here again. Okay, so go ahead.
No, it's funny. Like I feel like I'm overvaluing runes in the mid game and undervaluing them in the beginning of the game. But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I would just want to see you like kind of split pushing a side lane with like a remnant out. So like that could be bottom. Like you could go bottom now, because you have 2 cores top. So like you're like you have all 3 cores in the same place right now, which like macro wise is not good unless you guys are looking to group up and like make a play. Like if you guys are looking up to group up and make a play, what you're doing is good. But if you guys are just trying to farm and chill for like another 30-40 seconds, what you're doing is not good. Yeah. You're sharing 4 camps and 1 lane between 3 cores.
Yeah.
It's just like really awkward. So what you should look to do here is you just have to think to yourself, like, are we grouping up? No, not yet. Like, okay, like I need to run like away from like where my Spectre is. Like I don't want to be playing on top of my Spectre. And this Mars like should have stayed bottom, honestly. But like given that he didn't, like given that Mars is like moving this way, I have no idea what he's doing. There's like a bunch of farm over here that like you could be like getting. I would be running bottom. Like you don't know exactly where they are. You knew they were bottom, so I'd like be safe about it. But I'd like run to this hard camp and then like down to bottom, because they're not gonna all stay bottom forever, right?
True.
Like, and I think they were bottom, but you don't need to think they're gonna. You don't think they're gonna be there 60 seconds from now. Versus if you get there in like 40 seconds, like they're not gonna be there anymore, and you can continue like splitting out the map.
Yeah, can we go to both fog and just see where they move to from that kill? Because I think that's something I don't think about often enough. Is like where they actually are after.
Yeah. So this is the fight.
Let
me speed up a little bit. Mars goes base. Pushing on top. Mars TP's bottom. Warlock's bottom. They TP all the heroes down there. Your Warlock dies. And then your Mars walks away. You push out mid. And they're all leaving.
Mid, yeah.
Because there's
and
as
I
Radiant,
see
there's
them
nothing
mid.
for them
that
to play for down there.
Yeah. That should be the tip off too. Like if I see them mid, like I need that, I should go bottom.
Right. Yeah. Because there's nobody bottom now. You could be here pushing this out and farming all these camps. You know. So could your Mars. Like you didn't need to like fully leave. You could have just backed off a little bit and then like hung around. But that's not always what low MMR players are thinking about. It's like kind of an advanced concept is to like back off but not leave.
Yeah, that's definitely something I do poorly. This fight is chaos and they get a healing ward out and I just don't friggin' see it. It's a little frustrating. It's not this fight. There's one right after. Same spot.
Oh, a weird fight. I mean, I don't really have anything to say about that other than I wish you'd just been going bottom. Like, I don't think that fight should have happened, but those are just kind of the fights that just happen in Herald. So it is what it is. Okay, so here again, they're all dead, right? So, like, what do we want to do while they're dead? You chase this sniper. We didn't get him. It's, like, fine, right? But right here, it's like, what do we want to do with our time while they're dead?
Right? Yeah, and I should think about... I've been a little bit better about thinking about wave timings, and, like, if I'm super deep, I'll just cut a wave or something like that. But I should just wait for that wave to come.
Well, you can wait for the wave, and honestly, techies can clear it too. But, like, going bottom again would be really good. Like, this is pushing it super hard. Like, if when they respawn, they have creeps at their tier 2 bottom tower, like, they have to go deal with that. Right?
Roche
they have to.
Yeah.
So, like, it puts pressure. It forces them to do something specific that they would rather not be doing when they respawn. And then that would open up, like, Roshan for you guys, potentially. Or, like, at least clearing out, like, top and mid and, like, not being in danger. And instead... pushing mid, which is like, okay, techies could have done that. But, like, instead, when you guys respawn, you guys have to deal with something, right? And, like, they didn't do anything special, right? It's just been slow pushing towards you guys for the past, like, 2 minutes, but...
Yeah.
Right? They all respawn... and they come straight mid, because they don't have to do anything else. There's nothing else for them to do, right? Their lanes are great. Top's pushed in for them, bottom's pushed in for them. Like, they respawn, and they're like, oh, let's just, like, go see if we can kill this Ember, right? Why not? There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, it's really funny. I so don't think about, like, if I'm on Radiant, I'm always like, I don't want to go bottom. Like, I don't want to defend that tower unless we can all get there and defend it. Like, I want to be top and mid, playing around Roche. And I never think like, hey, they don't want to be there, so make them go there. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's like they don't want to deal with this, but also, like, you guys shouldn't want to deal with, like, what just happened here, right? Like, this Mars had a TP in, there's like 12 creeps here. Like, yeah, it's like good farm for him, but, like, that's not what he wants to be doing on respawn, right? Like, maybe he wants to be, like, TPing mid and, like, running to, like, help you or something, right?
100%, yeah.
So, yeah, we hang around mid a little bit, and they had nothing else to do rather than kill us, So, yeah, like, make sure after these fights that you are split pushing, assuming you're still alive, is, like, getting these lanes out. So, as Dire, a lot of times, like, it's going to be this bottom lane, and as Radiant, a lot of times it's going to be this top lane. Like, getting it shoved into their tier 2, even you don't have to, like, go hit the tower, right? But just getting the creeps onto their side, like, gives you guys, like, way better options when you're respawning versus, like, when they're respawning. Because if you know that they're going to have to come down here to, like, deal with this wave, you can set up just a kill on whoever does that, right? You can, like, think 2 steps ahead. You're like, okay, I'm going to shove this in, and when I do that and they respawn, they're going to have somebody that comes down here and defends it, and that person shows up. Like, if I have a teammate with me, like, we just kill them, right? Or, like, with Spectre, Aghanims, like, we just kill whoever shows there, right? These, like, kind of plays can be set up if the lanes are shoved in, and if they're not, then, like, there's no options.
I wonder... That's really interesting. I wonder what my win percentage is by side. Yeah, I think... Let's see if I can take turbos out of this. I don't want turbos. That's... I wonder if I'm accidentally... doing that correctly on one side and incorrectly on the other. Alright, so I've got a 50% win rate on Dire and a 45% win rate on Radiant. Okay, maybe that's not the right thought, but okay, cool. No, that makes sense to me. Like, I don't want to be there, so I'm sure they don't want to have to go there, and then if they send their Primal Beast or Tusk down there and we kill them, then it's 4v5 and we can do what we want on the rest of the map.
Exactly. Okay, so you were bottom, and you left bottom to walk mid. We don't see them. So they kill your warlock, I guess is what happens. And then you look to walk away.
I think that's something that I'm so bad about, is like, are they really going to hang around there that whole time?
Well, it just depends on what you want to do. If your warlock dies and you're like, well, I don't want to defend this tower if they're here's 5, like I'd rather just let them have it because they just picked off our warlock, that's reasonable to me. For whatever reason your Mars TP's in, like, right, you don't like kind of initiate this. Like your Mars, like by being here, like kind of causes this engagement to happen. Also, you're like pretty close to your item too, so like. Actually, I think what you did is fine. Like, I don't think you needed to hang around bottom given your warlock just died. So they wanted to take that tower. I feel like they could have. Wow, they are like really just all bottom. Warlock dies again. Classic. Mars really wants to defend this. Okay, you get the sniper. It's good. Share some Omni Slash love. Nice. Alright. What do we got to do right now?
Push the waves!
Well, push the waves is good, but also you have
Bottom.
no health and mana.
Okay.
So, if you... Yeah, I still have... Granted, we see Legion top. Like, if you wanted, you could, like, shove this wave out if you thought you weren't going to die to, like, Jug or Legion. But, like, either shove a wave or, like, get health and resources and then, like, shove a wave. You're going to run straight base? No, you're just going to farm on 300 HP. So you have 600 HP now. Okay, so now you're going base. Yeah, it's just slow. It's not a
Okay.
It's not a huge deal. I mean, you are resetting, but it's just slow. And yeah, like if you weren't gonna like go base right away, right? Like just go shove this lane in one more time and then do what you did.
Okay.
Lane is better.
Yeah, we just do nothing with that fight.
Yeah, and well, that's what it's hard to do anything with the lanes like being shoved in, right? Like now it feels like something needs to go bottom again. Like, that's what it feels like to me. Yeah, I don't think this is like a good fight to like initiate at all. Cause like our map's just not set up for anything. Like they're just like running down mid like maniacs, but like I don't want to fight them because like we don't have haunt, and our lanes aren't that good. You have your item, true. Warlock is just chilling jungling. It's life. Like I don't want to take this fight because my Spectre doesn't have haunts. I think it's like kind of nuts that you like are interested in doing this. So we come back. Okay, so you...
Yeah, I'm not going to defend this one. This is a bad fight.
Here. Well, no, that's okay. I mean, nobody plays perfect. But like here, right? You just cleared mid. Like, I want you to like walk towards bottom. And like get... Like, we see them shoving... Like, the sniper is going to shove this into our side. Like, because he's here, he's going to clear this. Like, we see him doing it. Yeah. And he's going to shove it in. So that means somebody on our side is going to need to come down here and, like, counter push it. And, like, that should be you. Pretty much all game, if not Mars.
Okay.
Because instead we're just, like, kind of chilling. Okay, we get a rune. So, like, I don't hate getting the rune, but, like, as soon as you get this rune, right? Again, like, this sniper is creating pressure. Or, like, well, super relieving pressure. But we want this to be shoved in their tier 2 if at all possible.
Okay.
And instead we're just kind of hanging around mid. So, like, our attention is obviously not on, like, getting the lanes fixed here. And then, like, you know, it's like, I want to do this.
I think what I saw there, and obviously it was incorrect, was their sniper's not there, their Tusk and and the Legion blinked in. Like, nothing to do about that. I should have known that. And their Primal has insane mobility. So just because I saw the Tusk and the Jug on our side of the river when there's 4 of us right there, honestly, doesn't mean I should go. That's not the right play.
Right, yeah. Like, you can't just... Like, and that's what happens in, like, Herald Guardians. Like, people just, like... They just see a bunch of enemy heroes, and they just start a fight. But it's really just about, like, are you guys, like, actually ready? Like, your Warlock was not there ready. Your Spectre did not have haunts when that was happening. So, like, you just have to, like, know that your team's not ready. Because if you don't know your team's not ready, you'll just do what you did. And you'll just start fighting, and then you'll be like, oh, my team wasn't ready. And, you know, it's kind of on you, not on them.
Yeah, and I think one of the other things that I'm realizing, especially in this game, is, like, I don't know when I'm particularly strong. Like, I thought I was doing much better this game than I was.
Sure.
And obviously that fight went really badly and changed things, but, like, I was not upper net worth at all. You know, that Jug's been free farming for the past 30 minutes.
Right. Yeah, it's important to have a good idea of where you are, but that's less important, I think. Like, you have some items, like, right, you're not having no game, and as long as you're not having no game, it's, like, kind of the same. Like, the only reason fighting, like, what you should be looking to do is fight around your, like, timings and when your team's ready, and as long as you're doing that, like, it doesn't really matter. It's what you're supposed to do if you're down 10k, and it's what you're supposed to do if you're up 10k, right? And everywhere in between. Like, if the game's just remotely close, that's just, like, the only way you should be, like, thinking about playing.
Okay.
Regardless of how, like, well or bad, like, you in particular are doing. It's like starting crazy YOLO fights when you're ahead but your team's not ready is just as bad as starting a crazy YOLO fight when you're behind and your team's not ready, right? It's, like, all the same.
Sure.
Do you want to take a look at the next game now?
Yeah, let's do that. So this one was a little bit weirder. The Slardar was having internet problems, and obviously the hard support is not a hard support. But the Slark and I were we usually play together quite regularly.
Okay.
So we were in a party queue, and we both were having pretty good games, and we just kind of threw.
It do be like that sometimes. Let's take a look. Alright, so we got our ward. A mantle. Yeah, I don't like this. Because it just puts too much pressure on you to get your bottle in time. It's just too hard. And like if you look at Dota 2 Pro Tracker, like this isn't like a Herald thing. This is like pro players don't make their lives this hard. They start with let's make sure we're looking at.
Yeah, what if I had 3 branches instead of a.
Let's do, but like they all start 3 branches. Or like if you do, you just sometimes you just stick if you're against like a Bat Rider. But like it's all the same. So just don't put this much pressure on yourself to like need to get these last hits. You just need to get your bottle by 2 minutes, and you need to like have your bottle to you at your tower by 2 minutes. And it's just not you have to get every CS. If you're starting with this low gold, you just have to get like every CS. Or your team has to get like 4 banner. It's just too hard. Like if the other, assuming semi-equal skill levels between the 2 mids, like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Which even if I'm playing well, like I want to be playing against people who are my skill level. That's how I'm going to get better.
Yeah. So like here, you did CS really well. Like you got 6 in the first 2 waves, which is pretty good. And your bottle's coming out, but you know it's just not always going to happen. So.
100%.
I would consider getting a stick here, like maybe after your bottle, or like Necro just spams.
Yeah, I think I do eventually get a stick, but yeah, it needs to be more automatic. And I hate this. I think I don't even go null talisman for a bit, which makes going mantle even worse.
Boots.
stick there instead. That makes sense.
Okay, so you're going base. It's like kind of reasonable actually because the rune's coming up. So if you want to be full health and mana when the rune comes, this is like very reasonable to me. So you get the stick. Yeah, but I'd want to like buy a ward here, and then again, it's like the 6-minute rune, right? We're like a little late on this.
Yeah.
But right, I think maybe you weren't going back to base because you wanted to be back for the 6-minute rune. It just happened to line up. But you know, last game we talked about it. Like this game, it's kind of the same thing. The mid rune just seems to be like the 6-minute rune is just so important. If you can just like put more emphasis on it and like get it 100% of the time, or you know, sometimes you'll like lose the 50-50 if the other guy's like paying attention.
Yeah.
But a lot of times in Herald they will not be.
Okay. Like me, for instance.
For instance. Yeah. Stun. It's like kind of tough because he can kill you as well. Can like kill each other. Also a raindrop is pretty reasonable in this lane. Very reasonable actually.
Yeah. That could make a lot of difference.
That's sad. We missed both those 2 CS. That's a rip.
That's tough.
Yeah. Alright. I like that you're going for this, seeing that he like didn't. If he was good, he would have, but he's not, so. Because you're rotating. This guy's low, so you're like. Nice. That's all it takes. Very nice. Okay, interesting little ward. I don't hate it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That's life. That's me. I'm the Razor, and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, if he had said sorry, I would have been fine with that. that was how he played this whole game. In a nutshell.
All right. I think you should go base here. Well,
Okay.
The 10-minute rune's coming, so you can like 50-50 it, but just sitting in lane is no mana on Lina feels pretty bad. Yeah, and again we're slow to the rune. Yeah, because if you're not even like gonna try and go for the rune at 10, then like you just shouldn't even be here. Because like here, right?
I think
like you just need to play for one of the runes,
slow,
like,
but
right
I am trying it. Okay, just be there.
Just be there. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's the only thing that matters. Like these 3 creeps at this point don't matter. Like if you're here at this like health and mana, it's because like you're wanting to get the rune. And if you're not wanting to get the rune, then like I would have just gone base before this, and then like been able to come back. Because now we don't have the rune. So I'd want you to clear this and then go back. Go base. Go base. Yeah, you just need to go base. Alright, now you're finally going base. Oh, or are we? Farm a camp on the way there.
Going
No,
back
like,
though, that's
like,
the
hanging
question.
around.
Yeah, I'm
No,
doing the bad thing.
Yeah, you just can't do this.
Radiant's top tower.
Just not efficient enough. I mean, even though you're like staying around and like hitting creep, like you don't have the mana to like farm, right? Like if you have full mana, like this hero power farms, and instead you're just like, you know, poorly
Yeah, I'm at
farming.
52
not using jungle
CS
camps.
instead of yeah.
So we have our bots. Okay, cool.
Is under
Cool.
attack. Radiant's
Nice, we're hitting the
middle
tower.
is under
I would
attack.
keep hitting the tower. Alright, we're walking away. Yeah, I think I just kept hitting the tower there. I'm not really afraid of this guy if you're at full HP. Like, you can't full to 0 you.
I'm just trying to get the bounty room, but I don't think it's important right now.
Now I've got the rune, nice.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
You're just sitting mid, chilling. Alright, went for a kill attempt, doesn't work, but we force him off. Nice. Very nice. Go base?
Radiant's middle
No,
tower.
you're going base. Yeah, this is just like, you just can't effectively participate at this mana. So you just need to recognize that. So like here, just go base. Just go base.
I've got BOTs. Like, there's no reason for me to not just.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole idea. It's
Yeah.
literally the whole idea of bots is that you go base in this situation and you can do it like every 40 seconds. I mean, you're not going base every 40 seconds, but like your TP will be up again in 40 seconds, so it's okay to be going base and then TPing back out on the map regularly because your TP is half the time that it would otherwise be. Like that's why bots are good. So if you're not like utilizing that aspect of bots, then you might as well just not even be going in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Running top, yeah, because then you TP base, then you have to walk out, which is just like, it just feels bad.
Go get the haste rune, even though I don't really need it. I should have used my mana first.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too. So we have like information here. So we shove this in. And you're like looking to push out the next wave, which I really like. This is really good. Well, this ogre's here. I guess we don't have that much information. Oh crap! What did I just do? Alright, I just skipped like way ahead. Okay. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. This is where I'm walking. We get the rune. We push it out.
Yeah, I guess we don't have as much information as I thought we did. This ogre shows up. Yeah, okay, it's fine walking away here, actually. I thought we had more information than we did, but we did not.
I just didn't want to get stunned there and die, but when nobody else shows up, that felt fine.
That was good. We're just farming our BKB. That's cool. Good BKB game.
Optimization felt better for at least the beginning.
So this is kind of dangerous. I'm not saying you can't do it, but like we don't know where they are. We know Willow's top. I guess we know Ogre's hanging around mid. I guess we saw Lycan too. This is like kind of dangerous, right? We saw Lycan and like Ogre in the area. You don't have your BKB. It's a little sketch. Okay. Ogre just walks in. Okay, well, it worked out. I thought it was a little sketch, but it worked out. Okay, so here you get a regen. What I would do right now with this regen is I just TP bottom.
Okay.
Like right now.
And
take the tower, push the wave in, get my BKB, have this shoved in, farm all of this, and then like join up with my team with my BKB ready to fight. That's what I would do. Like 100%.
Yeah, and I think I just greed here and try and get this kill. And I think we get a double kill, but like this is exactly why we lose this game. We just don't get the towers. I mean, I guess here we get another kill and get the tower, but like...
I mean, this like turned out really well, so I guess I don't hate it. I mean, you got the tier 2. This is another dire game, and it looks like we're just not gonna like look to play bottom again.
Yeah, I think that was sort of why, like when you said that, I was like, that's 100% something I don't do as much that I really need to. I just like that bottom corner in the map is just not attended to by me at all.
Yeah,
that's our tier 2. I mean, it's exactly what you said. Now we've got to go deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it should 100% be you. Okay, you're like finally showing up. Especially with the bots, it should be you. Some necros. Nice. We're gonna take this tower. Oh, we're here now. We're here now. Your necro is up like way too far. If he just hadn't been doing that, like right. Sarnar's doing some weird stuff. Okay, now your whole team's down here. So if we don't want to fight them, I'd be TPing away. Nice. I like this TP. If we don't want to fight them, we just TP away.
But like I guess we're not up huge, but at 21 minutes, I feel like 5k is enough that we probably could be fighting, but
you could be. But if there's like a bunch of farm available, like on the map to get, like it's fine. Okay, I think pushing up here is kind of crazy. You back up. So like here, you just need mana again. So like I really liked coming in and pushing out these waves, and then as soon as you push out this wave, like I would just go base here, and like you can TP base because like you're not gonna walk base from here. But like TP
and then
base
I can
here,
walk to tier 2 mid.
Yeah, tier TB base, walk out, farm a little bit, your teammates respawn, like, go make a play, you know? Like, top is shoved in, bottom is shoved in, you've got a hero mid who's, like, fighting, you know, de-pushing, basically, make sure it's not shoving into your side. So, in 30 seconds, you guys will be able to do whatever you want. And, like, you'll have information of where they are, because they will have to be responding to these waves you're pushing in. So, like, if we had TB base, and we were, like right now, you could be, like, walking out of fountain.
Walking. Unless I'm...
At, like, full health and mana. And, like, you
But
could be, like, you could be farming this big camp right now, or, like, this medium camp with full health and mana as your team's respawning. And, like, imagine if they just, like, all respawn and, like, come in, and then you guys just smoke as 5, right? And then you see this. Like, if you smoke as 5 here from mid, like, in 2 seconds, like, you have all the information in the world. You're like, we can go kill Jug, we can try and go kill Lycan, you know,
here too.
You can do anything. And, like,
I think Slarder's AFK right now, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, even if it's just 4 of us, we need to be playing together more so.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't really like the data list here, I don't think. Because, like, they have ways to, like, kill you that BKB does not address. So I would be a little concerned about that. Something like a Hurricane Pike would be interesting to, like, get away from the Lycan and also, like, stay further from the Jug.
Yeah.
Shivas could even be interesting. Although second item Shivas is, like, kind of meh. You'd even just go Shadow Blade, right? And just get away. Like, they make them have dust, or you just don't die.
Yeah, I think the Shadow Blade, I was thinking, would I go Silver Edge? And I just wouldn't in this game. Like, there's no passive that I'm particularly worried about, but
right. Well,
the Shadow
good,
Blade...
like, just for the crit itself. I mean, your hero does like crit because you attack so fast.
But isn't the data list better for that? Or am I mistaken?
Well, yeah, but then you're not getting the utility of the Shadow Blade part of it. Like, if you don't need a Shadow Blade, then, like, Daedalus isn't bad, but... So, yeah, we're cleaning up bottom now, but, like, our team has, like, gotten into this skirmish top, because they're, like, you know... Like, you weren't ready to fight when they could have done something, but they went and did something anyways, because they're, like, not good. And then, right?
And now, happen all the time.
And then you didn't want to join what they were doing when you were ready, so it was just, like, really awkward. Like, see, when your team's all here and ready at the same time, it's like not so bad, right? It works out great. It's even a good fight in the right part of the map. So we're gonna take this tier 2 off of it. Really want to reset. Okay, so we TP mid. Okay, we TP mid walk base. That's like kind of okay.
But if I had gone base and then mid, that would have been...
Probably would have been a little bit better. Oh, you're going Ags. Interesting.
I think I had taken mostly magic damage at this point, and I think that was why I went Ags.
Let's go against the Necro. We'll see how it works out. This is like a build now. It's not as bad as it used to be. Are we gonna take Roche here? That would be really good.
It would, wouldn't it?
This Roche would just die in 2 seconds. You guys should 100% be going to Roche now. Especially because there's, like, you already got the tier 2 here, right? Like, you guys kill the Necro. Like, as soon as you kill this Necro, there's nothing to do here. Up here. Like, in this lane, right? Like, you're not going high ground on this Necro kill. So, like, you should take Roche and then make sure you're, like, pushing in top and mid and, like, control this whole area and then end the game. It's, like, 100% what should be happening here.
Yeah, it's
like,
so
this is just 3 cores. Yeah. Well, technically it's only 2 cores. Or no, it's 3.
No, it's 3, yeah.
Yeah, Razor's on core, but
yeah,
this is like 3 cores, like, sitting together doing nothing. Not taking objectives, not pressuring good parts of the map. Kind of throwing Vader Slaughter DC, which is like life. But, like, right, if you've just been doing the right thing, like, this wouldn't have happened. And that was, like, just the freest Roshan ever. So definitely be tuned into, like, Roshan. And it's like we're, like, really late in the game, right? There's like 26 minutes. I mean, your clock took a DD, which is...
Yeah, that was a little bit weird.
But, yeah. I mean, if you take that Roshan and then your team like sweeps bottom, and like you bots bottom and push it in, and then you guys like take the tier 2 in the outpost. Like they literally have no plays. Just literally no plays.
It's amazing seeing how much more I'm fighting than I think I am. Like I think I push objectives, and then watching it and talking about it, like it's so clear that I'm just looking to kill people rather than looking to take objectives, and
Right,
if
yeah.
people are in the way, taking them out.
So you got away from this fight.
Yeah, I think I got an ultra kill here, so like it still went okay, but
Like what should you do like right here?
base.
You could base. I would even TP bottom here, just because they're all dead. So like it's not a huge deal that you have like low health and mana. But like this is like there's creeps here. Like this is a problem again, right? This is like always a problem for us. And like Slark TP's down here, but then he only clears like one wave and then walks away, which is really bad. Like he needs to like come clear this next wave. Like what he should be doing, honestly,
I will tell him.
Is he should be clearing this wave. You should have done the same thing, but given that you didn't, since he did come, he needs to be clearing this wave and this wave that's over here. Like he needs to walk down the whole thing and shove it all the way in, and then reconnect to whatever the fuck you guys are doing. That's the only thing that matters.
Because he's so escapable?
No, just because this lane needs to be pushed in. Somebody has to do it. It doesn't matter who it is. But somebody needs to do it, and they need to do it right, which is doing it all the way. Unless you, like, have pretty good info that they're about to gank you, in which case you can, like, back off.
So, like, could we pause it just for a second? Mm-hmm. So, we don't see any of them on the map. And I think the Razor's doing that exactly right now, which obviously would be better if the hard support was not, and one of the cores was. But, like, how do I, especially on a Lina, like, this is where the Shadow Blade in particular, I think, would be helpful, of being able to escape. But, like, how do I value that? Because I think I died twice in this game, or maybe 3 times, and, like, I think that kills me. That kills the whole game. And partially, like, you can see the last hits, like, I'm also not farming appropriately. Like, on Lina, I should have 300 last hits right now. But how do I balance how far out to push the wave when they're all up and I don't have any vision of them?
Well, it's a ton of game sense. It's like all game sense, but like if we go back, this is when you should have done it right now. They're all dead.
Then that makes perfect sense. Okay.
So it's easy. You don't have to have any game sense to know that you're not going to die because they're all dead. You know, and then we wait and we don't go, right? And now your Slarks go. They still have 2 dead.
Yeah.
And like this goes back to what we talked about earlier. If they don't have to come deal with this, then they're not going to.
Be there.
Like they're going to go do something else. Versus if you were here and you pushed it down to here right now, you just have to like think like, are they going to kill me right now? Like probably not. Like these 3 heroes like don't really kill me. And are they smoking to come kill me when these 2 waves are like this? And that's what you'd have to use your judgment, right? If you were here right now pushing out a creep wave and you saw that they had 3 heroes alive and that there was nobody mid and nobody top, that would give you a decent idea that maybe they could be coming to kill you because they're not the 3 heroes that are alive on their team. We don't see them doing anything else.
We could deep vision, so like I might be able to catch something. But even if they do kill me,
this is the important vision.
True.
Like you know that they're not defending these waves, which tells you they have to be doing something else. It's that or they're sitting in their base, right?
Where are they right now? Just so that
I just saw the Lycan bottom. They're sitting in their base and the Lycan's here. So they're not dealing with their waves. I mean, Lycan was kind of just mid, like usually, or no, that was a while ago because Slark's already reset.
Yeah, where do they even go, right? Like if we just play it, where do they go now?
Not bottom because they don't need to.
Not bottom, yeah.
Yeah, Willow's like kind of slowly pushing in top. I mean, her hero's just not that good at that. Lycan continues to push in mid. So you guys are like ahead, but like you're not taking map control.
Yeah, it doesn't feel just like if we were to take away the kills and the gold, I wouldn't know that. Like just by looking at this map.
Given the map, like it doesn't feel like you guys are ahead. But it's because this lane isn't shoved in all the way, and then you guys aren't playing up here. Like, this
Or
lane's
worse,
shoved in all the
yeah.
way, and you're playing up here as, like, 3 or 4 heroes, right? Then you're ahead, and they're stuck in their triangle, right? But instead, that's not happening. Like, this Razor, honestly, this is correct, because you and Slark both fucked it up by not doing it correctly.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't do it at all, and the Slark didn't do it right. So, like, the fact that he's down here isn't great, but, like, it's better that he's doing it than nobody. Especially because they're liking his Shard, which is just, like, probably broken in Herald, because it just constantly shoves waves, and then people don't deal with it appropriately.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know before the game. I was like, oh, right, these wolves. I forgot about that thing.
Yeah. Where are we on? There we go. What's happening? I'm really bad at this.
Invisibility.
Your Slaughter's not here now. It's like whatever. That's pretty extreme. But yeah, you can kind of just tell that, like, nothing's happening. So, like, you need to be able to progress the game, right? So, like, when you guys had the opportunity, you could have Rosh and you didn't. And then when these, like, fights are over, you don't, like, go... Your default is not to go push in the side lanes. And, like, having the side lanes pushed in is what gives you the information you need to then, like, make good plays to win more fights to then take objectives. And if the lanes aren't getting pushed in, then nothing productive happens. People just kind of, like, putz around, farm, and that's how these random fights break out mid, because people are just, like, not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they just, like, kind of end up around the mid lane, and then they see people in the enemy team, and then you guys start fighting because you're all there, but, like, nothing productive has, like, been happening.
That was a terrible death.
Like, that's what this is right now, is, like,
Yeah.
we're just, like, hanging around mid, and nothing productive has happened in the last, like, 2 minutes, and then they, you know, and it becomes, it's not even like you're not going to lose every game that happens, but it just becomes like a coin flip, because you're not doing anything to, like, push it in your advantage. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like, your net worth leads matter less because you're not pressing the advantage. They have the opportunity to, like, go for pickoffs just like you do, right? So
Yeah, if the map position is in a neutral position, then, you know, if someone gets picked off, it's a 50-50 chance.
yeah, exactly. All right, so you see me bottom, shoving in a little bit.
I think this is
Shoving
the
in
point
even
where I'm
more.
like, okay, we need to just go.
This is great. This is the
But
first time you
then-
guys have, like, shoved it in, like, all the way. Look at that. Kill the jug. Kill the lichen.
As well. This, I think, is too much, maybe. Actually, no.
let's think
This
about it,
is
let's think about it.
this is where we're good, but the team. I'm like calling for tier 3. Like, we get these fight, we kill 2 people, and this is where I'm like, let's go tier 3, and the team just kind of goes.
What I would do here,
not here.
What I would do here is I would TP top right now, and I
Uh-huh.
would tell my Slardar to go to Roshan, and tell your
Okay.
friend Slark to go to Roshan. TP top,
Okay.
shove this out, shove out this one wave, and walk to Roshan while telling your Slardar to walk to Roshan, and then you guys just take Roshan right now.
Okay.
Because then you've
Alright.
applied pressure. Top, bottom is shoved in all the way, because you guys already, you just did that, and then you picked up the free kills. Mid, I mean, it'd be nice if they, like, shoved it in a little bit. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But, like, you take the mid, or you take the Roshan. This is, like, here. This lane is, like, here. Bottom is, like, here. You know, mid is whatever. And then you, like, push out mid, and then you can do whatever you want again. And, like, they're probably still not even alive. Right? And then you get all 3 lanes pushed in. You have Aegis.
Why wouldn't we go tier 3s here?
Well, going tier 3s without Aegis is, like, super sketch. If, like, either
Okay.
of them buys back, then it can be very hard.
Okay.
And also your team's not here. So,
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's the like, that's
hypothetically,
the obvious
if you had
answer. But
5
if
heroes here-
5 were there,
if 5 were here, then yeah, you could, like, pressure it. You'd still want to, like, respect the buybacks a little bit, because you did, like, use, you know, your BKB. Oh, you didn't use your BKB. But you use some spells
I
and
use
then-
it here. Yeah, I use it in a second, but absolutely.
But, like, you just don't have your team here, you know?
Yeah.
And you're just not always going to have your team here with Herald, and that's life. So put yourself in a good position anyways, right? Like, shove the other lanes in. Like, take the Roshan. you know.
Press the gold advantage, go from 10k to 15, and get the Aegis, and yeah.
You know, assume your team's gonna play like a bunch of heralds, and just put yourself in a good position to like win whatever like the next big fight is. Your Razor's like solo killing their Necro on the side. That's pretty cool. Guess they buy back. Yeah, they bought back Necro, their Lycan's alive, their Jug's alive. Because you TP mid, and it's like kind of okay. It's kind of crazy to me that it's like 30-something minutes, like nobody's even like thought about roshing. It's like crazy. Like in high MMR games, people rosh at like, you know, 15 minutes or 17 minutes, you know.
And if there's a rosh taker, it's 12.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just matters so much. Like right now, you guys can back off and go rosh on. You know,
it's really, really interesting. I've noticed that in games where a rosh is taken in Herald, it's so much more likely that rosh will be taken again later. Like it goes up exponentially.
Yeah, well, and it's like you know, in Herald it feels like there's a gentleman's agreement that nobody takes rosh on before 30 minutes. But that's not an actual rule of Dota. You're allowed to take it whenever you feel capable. So I like this TP bottom here a lot. You know, I wish your Razor wasn't jungling, but that's life. Shoving this in. It's a little sad that we don't have any mana. You could be flying yourself. Okay, you're getting some clarities. Yeah.
So this is, I think, a bad decision on my part. Bad itemization. I was going to go Scythe for the Jug, but I just can't even cast it on him. It like...
Well, I think you just need to, like that could sort of work if you had, like, a Shadow Blade. You just need some sort of way to initiate. Like, your build's all over the place. You have the Dragon Slave cooldown talent, and then you have the Fiery Soul per stack, like, attack speed talent, and then you have, like, a magic item, and then you have a physical item. You know, like, the Ags and the Daedalus together, like, don't make any sense.
Okay.
Like, they just do two different things, right? Are you playing into the physical build or are you playing into the magical build? You definitely should just go one or the other. And then, like, yeah, like, one of your items, I think, should just be, like, defensive, right? Like, a Shiva's would be decent, like I said. Hurricane Pike would be pretty good. The Shadow Blade would be good. I think any of these would be pretty good. These are just two aggressive items, and they don't even, like, synergize in any way. And, yeah, it's, like, a pretty big throw. Is this, like, good? You guys are down here doing this? Your Razor's not here. What are your Slark doing? Is he pushing in mid? He's pushing in mid. But you just have, like, no mana, which is, like, really awkward. Like, you can't have, like, no mana. So you kind of need to, like, You kind of need to, like, want to back out of here. Like, here at this situation. Like, even though you guys have the map control, like, you haven't done anything to get yourself mana in the last, like, 4 minutes. Like, you can kind of, like... You can kind of play the map as Lina with, like, low mana. Because, like, you regen just fast enough to be able to, like, kind of Dragon Slave stuff. But then you, like, don't have mana, like, if a fight were to happen. So you just kind of have to, like, be willing to reset yourself at some point. And then be ready to, like, you know, take a fight. Because you guys have good map control here, but you're just, like, not actually ready to fight them. Is the problem here. That's what I think is the problem. So, like, this Ogre walks up this hill. Stupid replay bugs. This Ogre walks up this hill, and, like, if you just have... You don't even need full mana, right? But if you have, like, 1,000 mana, like, you could just, like, BKB, stun, or, you know, you just, like, Flame Cloak, BKB combo, and he just dies. Because you have this Flame Cloak Aghanims thing, right? This guy just dies, and then Slark connects, and you guys can, like, take this fight, even though the Razor's, like, AFK. But you just, like, don't have the mana, and you kind of just get chained down and, like, Omni'd here. It's unfortunate, but yeah, just, like, not being ready to fight and not having a defensive item.
Is Flame Cloak not defensive? I mean, obviously I didn't pop it there, but I thought...
It can be. It definitely can be, but it's not like, what is your problem this game? It's like getting Omni Slash, or, like, it hasn't really been a huge deal, but, like in running at you with, like, a Helm Overlord creep is, like, Well, if you have BKB, I guess you just stun him and hit him back, and you like do more damage than he does. But, you know, the flying cloak does not really solve like your problem of like, you know, dying to like a stun plus like Omni Slash or something.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Well, it's been about an hour and a half. Do you have any other questions? I think this game. Well, you guys are
It's
still up
pretty much
19K.
over from here. No, we throw pretty much with the gold advantage. I think it goes longer, but we managed to die to the jug. The jug just gets huge.
Well, I'm sure it's the same
kills
thing,
us.
right? Like we can watch. Right, you killed 3 heroes. Like, what should you do right now? You know,
Roche is down. Push out
TP
waves.
bottom. You know,
Yeah.
Just TP bottom.
TP bottom. That's just gonna be my TP to our offlane is gonna be my mantra for.
I don't hate
the
that you're
next
pushing
20
this
games.
in, although Razor can do it, so you don't have to. Like Razor, what Razor can do is he can't bots here and like push it out. Versus
Yeah, and
like
that's a
he
ton of
could do this.
gold.
You know, yeah. So it's just like your macro play in terms of like getting the map set up to like then put yourselves in good conditions is like not there.
Yeah.
You did it once with Slark a minute ago, and then it like worked out, and then
Forgot about it.
you just never backed off to do Roshan, which is also a problem. But like the one time you did do it, it was looking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you can like consistently do that, and then have this awareness of like the Roshan, then you will, you'll like skyrocket to like Crusader.
Okay. That sounds like the play.
Cool, man. Well, I've recorded this, so I will, I'll get you the link at some point so you can rewatch it. I would recommend doing that at least once. But, yeah, good luck, dude. Thanks for signing
Thank you so
up.
much. Really appreciate it.
All right, later. Hey, thanks for watching. Like the video if you haven't already. Please subscribe to my channel if you like the content. And if you want to be coached by me, check the link in the description to my Discord. There's all the information there on how to sign up.